Hey everyone, it's Alicia again. So I wanted to go ahead and finish up my favorite failure with a reflection. So I actually bought the book. They have a book called My Favorite Failure, and I actually decided to base my unit writing that you can see on my website on this book. So my unit of narrative writing is based on my favorite failure. Um, and my students will actually be creating a digital narrative story, essentially, digital storytelling through something similar to this that you're looking at right now. But the beginning of it, many of you are familiar with the 5 questions that my favorite failure goes through. And so I just wanted to kind of go through these and address them. Number one, think about a time you tried something new or important and it didn't work out. What happened? Obviously, you can see from the first 2 slides what happened with me. I had things all planned out. I thought I was going to create a curriculum over the summer, and I ended up with about a unit and a half of work. Then I went and I did some research, and I realized that I was being very optimistic in my goals and plans, and it was okay. It was okay to fail. So how did it feel when you failed? So I was always very overwhelmed this summer, but it didn't hit me that it was honestly a hot mess of a failure until I talked to my professor, my mentor, Dr. War, and she, just told me like, it's okay. As long as you can show that you put in the hours of work, it's okay. Um, I was so worried about having physical products to show that I worked on planning a curriculum, and I had to come to the realization that the amount of research that you put into being able to pick content, and methods of delivery and instruction, that takes a lot of time, and you don't have much to show for it until you have a full unit of curriculum written. And still, the amount of hours that you put in as opposed to what you have to show, it will never amount to the same. Um, Number three, what did you learn about that situation? So I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I do not do well when I am asked for feedback and I am not provided the feedback that I am expecting. Um, but I also learned that what I am planning to do, which I do want to finish this full blown curriculum, and I plan on actually implementing it in my English 4 classes this year as a pilot. Um, it's going to take a lot of time, and development and revisions. I've come to realize that curriculum writing takes years. I know that the research says, it's 6 to 25 times the length of what the actual fully written out curriculum is. Um, I could see this taking me 2 to 3 years to perfect, and even then, um, if your learning continues as a teacher and an instructor, then obviously you're going to make tweaks to your curriculum. So I learned a lot about failure. I learned a lot about curriculum. I learned a lot about myself in terms of what I allow myself to do and not allow myself to do. Number four, what did you learn about yourself? Oh, well, I just said that. But I don't like to fail. I I don't like to feel unorganized, and I feel like I always need something to show for my work. And then number five, why is this failure a favorite? It's my favorite because this is my last class. And go figure, the couple big classes, or the harder ones, my big classes that I call them, I've had my biggest failures in. I've been told no, or I've been told like you're doing too much. So it's my favorite failure because it's something that I am learning from and I'm actually going to get to implement later. And I can actually use this with my students to be very raw and authentic with them and explain to them like, hey, it's okay to fail. So I really think that I took things a step further with my favorite failure, with actually making this into my unit. So I'm pretty excited about how this is going to go. And yeah, this has been definitely a frustrating yet great learning experience. And I definitely recommend everyone to go through it at some point in their lives.